Tez Walker was, we're trying to secure his immediate eligibility. He's a two-time transfer. We submitted a waiver, and the waiver was denied. And we filed an appeal. We're waiting to hear back. Under the rules, when Tez transferred, he was enrolled, but he met the criteria for a transfer to be automatically eligible. On January 9th, he transferred. On January 11th, they changed the rule and said it was going to be more difficult for two-time transfers to be eligible.
Coach, he enrolled in classes in January.
He enrolled in classes on January 9th. And then the NCAA changed the rule January 11th. The NCAA indicated approval of his waiver at that time, but that was before the change of the waiver directive. Tez has only played football at one school and should be considered a first-time transfer. He went to East Tennessee State and hurt his knee, and he didn't go to school there. He signed with them. So when he hurt his knee, they made him a gray shirt, and they deferred his enrollment back, so he didn't get to play at East Tennessee State. So then he enrolled at UNC North Carolina Central. When he enrolled at North Carolina Central, they canceled football season in the fall because of COVID. He stayed for the spring. They canceled football for the spring because of COVID. So then he transferred because he wasn't going to get to play because he sat out a full year. So here he is. He's already missed 2 years and hasn't played any. And he goes to Kent State, and he plays there for 2 years. And his head coach, his offensive coordinator, and his wide receiver coach left. And then he felt like he would have the one-time transfer to get here. And he was coming back here to be closer to home because North Carolina was his dream school, but also his grandmother had never seen him play. And she was not healthy, and she couldn't go to Kent State to see him play. And now we're opening up in Charlotte. That'll be the first time she'll be able to see him play, and she basically was very, very important in raising him. And it's very important in his life that she see him play, and we've got, 8 games in the state of North Carolina, so she's going to see a lot of games that she couldn't. Kent State fully supports him being eligible, which is a major factor in the eligibility of the new directive. They understand and want him to be eligible. They have written a letter about his eligibility. His reasons for transferring, like I said, it's closer to home, be closer to his grandmother, who is dealing with bad health issues. We've even got to look at how we can help her, where she would sit and how she would get into the stadium when she comes here. And she was a huge role in his upbringing. Health issues, she just can't travel. So items to consider. Tez has only played football at one school due to the circumstances that were out of his control. So it's not like he is a normal two-time transfer. He's played at one school. And he transferred. His first enrollment was deferred because he got hurt. Secondly, they canceled the season, fall and spring, so he wasn't going to be able to play. And that's why he transferred. He's not one of these kids that's transferring every year to get to a different place in his life. And he transferred to get closer to home because of his grandmother. And that's really, really important to him. He's followed all the rules, and then the rules were changed. And we feel very, very good moving forward that the NCAA will look at this and understand this isn't a normal case of a double transfer, and they will go ahead and accept the appeal and let him be able to play when we open up for the season. Mental health is huge in all kids' lives. He's really struggling, and that's why we're coming out and saying this. He's been down. Here he is. He made a decision based on what was best for him, that he thought was within the rules, and for his grandmother and his family. And now we're sitting here 4 weeks from game time and just waiting to see if he's going to play. So he has to practice every day, not knowing if he's even going to have an opportunity to play. So when we look at what transfer rules are for, and we look at the best for mental health, there's absolutely no doubt that this is a mental health issue for Tez, because it's putting way too much pressure on him, and that's a major talking point for Charlie Baker, the new NCAA director, which I'm hearing great things about. but we're asking them to look at this. So he sat out in 2019 because of an ACL. He sat out in 2020 because of COVID. Then he went to Kent State for 2 years. He had a 3.7 GPA, and this spring he had a 3.0 GPA. So he's done everything right. He's done it within the rules. When the waiver was denied, we know that there's at one time a lot of people were just across the board being given eligibility with transfers. Now it's different. They're trying to be really tight on it, but this is an example we feel like that fits the transfer rule perfectly, and we're just reaching out to try to help Tez.